All right, let's talk about AI's arrival in India. Because when it first hit, man, it was a tale of two extremes. On one side, you had sheer panic, massive sell offs. And on the other, these absolutely wild predictions of a multi-trillion-dollar future. So, what's the real story here? Is AI coming to break India's tech industry or to transform it into something bigger than we can even imagine? So let's start with the panic, because it was very, very real. Almost overnight, $56 billion gone, just wiped from the value of India's biggest tech companies. We're talking giants like TCS and Infosys. Now, this wasn't just a bad day on the stock market. This was a full-blown earthquake that shook the entire industry to its core. When you see a number like that, it forces everyone to ask a pretty terrifying question. Is this it? Is the rise of AI the end of the road for India's tech dream? Okay, let's get into it. To really get what's coming, we first have to understand that fear. This wasn't just some small dip, it was a fundamental shock to the system, a direct hit to the bedrock of India's modern economy. So, what caused all this chaos? Well, it was the launch of these incredibly powerful new AI tools from companies like Anthropic. And investors, they basically freaked out. They thought, wait a second, can these things just do the work that we pay all these Indian companies for? The reaction was immediate. The IT index just tanked, plunging 15%. That's its worst month since the whole pandemic crash back in March 2020. And this quote right here from Fanasekar Panaji, it really nails the fear. The client will pocket the productivity gains. Think about it. For decades, the whole business of Indian IT was selling productivity to other companies. But now AI creates that productivity almost instantly. So the worry is, why would clients pay the IT firms when they can just keep the savings themselves? And that, right there, threatens the entire business model that built this industry. I'm talking about the headcount-based model. For years, the formula was simple. The more people you had on a project, the more money you made. It's what made Indian IT a global powerhouse. But what happens when one AI can do the work of 10 engineers or 100? Suddenly, that whole formula just breaks. But here's where the story takes a massive turn. Just as everyone was predicting doom and gloom, a completely different narrative started to emerge. Not about survival, but about a $2 trillion vision. An opportunity so huge it could redefine the entire Indian economy. You had major banks like HSBC and JP Morgan pushing back, saying, hey, hold on a second, these worries might be a little overdone. Their argument is that this isn't an ending, it's an evolution. I mean, who's going to help every company on Earth plug these complicated AI tools into their existing systems? The answer, they believe, is that India's IT firms are perfectly positioned to become the world's great AI integrators. And this is where the numbers get just mind-boggling. To counter that $56 billion scare, the venture capital firm Accel came out with a massive prediction. They believe that in the next decade, technology is going to add $2 trillion in new market cap in India. Let me say that again, $2 trillion. That's not just getting the money back, that's a whole new universe of economic creation. Now, to put that $2 trillion number into perspective, check this out. Today, tech makes up just 4 to 5% of India's total market. Excel is projecting that share will quadruple, hitting 15, maybe even 20% by 2036. This isn't just a little bit of growth. This is a seismic shift. You'd have to create multiple, brand new $100 billion companies to make that happen. So you might be thinking, how can both of these things be true? A $56 billion scare and a $2 trillion opportunity? Well, it's because they're two sides of the same coin. This is all part of a fundamental reinvention of the industry, a shift from services to innovation. What we're witnessing is the great IT reshuffle. The old model, selling man-hours, billing based on effort, that's on its way out. The new model is all about selling results. It's a huge shift from billing for your time to pricing based on the outcome, all powered by AI. And you can bet the industry giants are not just sitting around watching this happen. They've been through big shifts before, from Y2K to the cloud. They're already adapting. They're modernizing old systems with AI, they're retraining their massive workforces for new AI-focused jobs, and they're building the foundational software companies will need to run in this new era. But this is way bigger than just a few companies changing their business model. This has become a national strategy for India. The ambition is now much, much bigger. It's about building a sovereign AI. Yeah, this term, sovereign AI, was the big buzzword at the recent India AI Impact Summit. The idea is simple, but it's really powerful. For a country as huge and diverse as India, it's not enough to just use AI built somewhere else. The nation needs to control its own AI infrastructure, its own data, and its own models, making sure it all aligns with India's unique culture and national interests. And they are putting serious money behind this. We're seeing huge commitments from all sides. Corporate giants like the Adani Group are pledging $100 billion for AI data centers. Tech leaders like Qualcomm are launching a $150 million fund just for Indian AI startups. And the government is creating its own massive fund for deep tech. The national push is real, and it is very well funded. So what does this all add up to? We've seen the panic, and we've seen the promise. Let's put it all together and take a look at the new Indian market that's emerging from all this creative destruction. So here's the bottom line. India's tech industry is not collapsing. Far from it. It's actually going through its biggest reinvention ever. That $56 billion scare, that was the market reacting to the end of an era. And the $2 trillion vision, well, that's the prize waiting for whoever can lead the next one. And all of this leaves us with one final fascinating question. For the last 30 years, Indian IT companies were the essential support players for the world's tech giants. With trillions of dollars now at stake, is this the moment that India starts creating the global tech giants of tomorrow? If you found this explainer helpful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the topics that are shaping our world. And we want to know what you think. Is this AI shift a threat or a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We read all of them. Thanks for watching.